Welcome back, friends. Myself, Praveen Gore, lecturer, Science Department. So, in previous lectures, we have studied few concepts in industrial chemistry, and we stopped at mechanism of electrolysis, and we have studied also the laws of electrolysis. So, we know what is an electrolysis is. So, now moving ahead, we'll go to what is corrosion. What is corrosion? So, we know there are many ways of corrosion. So, we know rusting of iron. We know rusting of iron, that we call it as corrosion of a metal, or else tarnishing of silver. The silver gets black in color. When we use it more often, silver gets black in color. That is corrosion. So, what is corrosion in chemical terms? If you look at chemical terms, what is mean by corrosion? So, definition of corrosion is the gradual destruction of metal brought about by its environment is called corrosion. The gradual destruction of metal brought about by its environment is called corrosion. Example, rusting of iron, tarnishing of silver, or else green color on copper. Okay, green color on copper. So, rusting of iron. So, what is happening when there is rusting of iron? We clean the rust of the iron. So, in this process, what happens? Part of the metal is destroyed. In this process of cleaning the rust out of the iron, what is happening? Iron is destroyed. Therefore, the metal is gradually undergoing destruction. It is undergoing slowly destruction. So, what is happening in this case is this corrosion takes place by the environment of the metal. So, what is environment of the metal? So, for example, if we take iron rod undergoing rusting, so rusting is nothing but formation of ferric oxide, which is nothing but Fe stands for iron, pure iron. If we form Fe2O3, which is the reaction with oxygen or air content present in the oxygen content present in the air, we get ferric oxide. So this oxide is nothing but rust, and due to this a layer is created on the metal. And when we are cleaning it off, even the metal is destroyed along with the rust. So metal is destroyed gradually. It is not all of a sudden, but slowly the metal is undergoing destruction. So how to prevent corrosion? There are many ways for preventing corrosion. So first one is alloying. What do you mean by alloying? So we know what are alloys. When we mix two or more than two metals in liquid state in required proportions, we form alloys, and alloys are very resistant to corrosion. We know that steel never gets corroded. Does it? No. If you look at steel, it never gets corroded. There is no corrosion, no rusting in steel. Therefore, steel is mixture of iron, chromium and nickel. So, we are adding three metals in required proportions and we are creating steel, and which is resistant to corrosion. So, when we mix two or more than two metals in molten state, in liquid state, corrosion is prevented. Then we have surface coating. In this method, corrosion is prevented by coating this metal surface by a suitable layer. We coat the surface of the metal by paints or else some other cheaper metal, isn't it? So we all have seen that we prevent iron pipes by painting color on them, isn't it? We all might have done it or seen it, that iron rods or iron pipes are always painted. Why? To reduce the corrosion. Now, third point is electroplating. It is a process of coating one metal on the surface of another metallic object. So what happens if we want to store silver, then we coat zinc on it, because zinc is cheaper and easily available as compared to silver. So we want to prevent silver from corrosion, and also what we do, we apply powder or paste of zinc on the silver. Now fourth point is anodizing. In this method, coating of aluminum oxide is formed using dilute sulfuric acid. In this case, what is happening? Aluminum oxide is formed on one metal using dilute sulfuric acid, and the corrosion is prevented, because the first metal which undergoes corrosion is oxide of aluminum. Aluminum oxide undergoes corrosion first, and by that time the aluminum is corroded, we can save our metal well in time. Then we have fifth process, that is galvanizing. So in this, iron or steel is coated with a thin layer of zinc by hot dipping. In this process, what happens? Iron or steel is saved by zinc layer, thin layer of zinc. Zinc, I told already that it is very cheap and easily available. So if you want to prevent corrosion of steel as well as iron, we hot dip the iron rods or steel metal into the zinc liquid, and the liquid is covered all over the metal. Therefore, galvanizing is one of the methods of preventing corrosion. Now we will see alloys. What are alloys? A substance which possesses metallic properties and is composed of two or more than two metals is called an alloy. A metal which is composed of two or more than two metals, and it must have metallic properties. That is the main condition, and an alloy should have metallic properties, and it should be composed of minimum two or more than two metals. So why do we make alloys? So one purpose we know, we studied it in corrosion, that when we make alloys, there is resistance to corrosion. So the second point for purposes of making alloys is given, more resistant to corrosion. So alloys are more resistant to corrosion. Okay, a normal metal may get corroded, but an alloy is hard to get corrosion. Then the first point, alloy is harder than composite metals. An alloy is harder than composite metals. If you look at the strength, hardness of steel and iron, steel is harder as compared to iron. Then to increase tensile strength, the load bearing capacity, the power to carry loads is greater for alloys than compared to metals, pure metals. Then the color can be modified very easily if you are making alloys. So you can look at the example of steel and iron. The steel has very beautiful color, and the color also can be modified using alloys when we prepare alloys out of a metal. And to lower the melting point of any metal, we prepare alloys. So these are the purposes of making alloys. So this completes the topics to be covered in industrial chemistry. I hope we have gone through all the previous lectures of industrial chemistry as well as unit 1 to 5 in the previous lectures. Thank you.